Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Read and Reread. I'm Angelia, and today it is time for Friday Reads on February. Oh my gosh. All right, it's March 14th. I had it all in my mind. I thought, I don't have to look at the calendar. I actually know what day it is. And then I said February. So, okay. It's March 14th. We have reached the middle of March. I had a really great reading week. I want to tell you all about it. But first, I'm going to show you my t-shirt because I forgot to wear this shirt. I did that tag last week about the Brontes that Melinda created from a web of stories. And as I was filming it, it occurred in the back of my mind, hey, I have a Bronte t-shirt. I should have worn it for this video. So I'm wearing it today. It's still relevant because of a book that I read this week. So here we go. Woo! Ellis, Kerr, and Acton. If you are unfamiliar with Bronte lore, these are the male pen names or pseudonyms that Charlotte, Emily, and Anne adopted to get their work published initially. They were the Bells, Kerr, Acton, and Ellis Bell. In TV viewing, nothing new to report. Still watching Severance, still deeply obsessed. There's only 2 episodes left in this season and it's making me nuts. We're also watching the White Lotus. I have theories about that too. And we are into the 2nd season now of Search Party, which is a dark comedy. It's very funny. Kind of think After Hours meets Bad Sisters. I think that's kind of the feeling I get from that show. This group of friends that, they're trying to solve the disappearance of someone they knew in college. It's not even a friend, just someone that they vaguely knew in college who has gone missing. But what really makes this show funny is the things that they're actually doing get completely out of control and bizarre, and they make all kinds of horrible decisions. But all of the peripheral characters, every situation they walk into, every side character that they encounter is off the rails, and it makes what they're deciding to do or talking about somehow make more sense because everyone else is so crazy. It's just one thing piling up on top of another, and I'm enjoying it. Before we get into this week's reading, I want to share with you a book gift that I received this week. A beautiful Bookish gift from a friend, and it was a lovely surprise that just came out of the mail with no foreknowledge. It just arrived, a package of bookish things. There were some little goodies in there, but I'm just going to show you the books, and it is just so sweet and thoughtful. And this friend was just thinking about me and recent events, and also inspired by the video that I made that went around BookTube a few weeks ago, where we were making videos about our fantasy shelf, books that we wish that we had, editions that we coveted, things like that. Anyway, let me just show you what it is because it's just such a sweet gift. All right, first of all, I shared in that video and also in the past a number of times about my ratty Tennessee Williams collection, with the most egregious example being this edition of A Streetcar Named Desire. I also have a couple of these omnibuses, which would be okay, except that they're just, they're stiff, they're smelly, they're yellow. And so I talked about wanting to upgrade and get nice copies of these Tennessee Williams plays, especially now that I've re-entered my play reading renaissance era here. And so I received some Tennessee Williams. Well, hold on. So this omnibus, one of the books in here is Sweet Bird of Youth. And now I have this really beautiful copy of Sweet Bird of Youth. It doesn't look like anybody read it at all. It has this pretty cover. And I think that I did read this back when I was a teenager. I don't remember it at all. So I'm really happy to have this nice copy to read again. Also, hold your horses here. Look at this copy of The Glass Menagerie. I might have this somewhere buried in a big anthology, but I don't have a nice reading copy like this. It opens up nicely. Don't you always have to check that? For like, those tight bindings are such a pain. So this is really just great. And this is one I especially want to read again. I read it and saw it in high school. Well, it was a high school production, and I didn't put a Tennessee Williams play into the mix this year in Endless Drama because I had just read Streetcar right before it started, but I do want to put one in for next year. And I'm thinking about The Glass Menagerie, and I'm thinking about Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. So if you have any opinions, you can shoot them below. But I mean, it kind of makes sense now. I have a copy of The Glass Menagerie, so maybe it's going to be that one. Then also, here's one I don't even know anything about. I never even heard of this play. Clothes for a Summer Hotel, a ghost play. And it does say on the back that this is about Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald. It is set in the hospital where Zelda Fitzgerald lived at the last portion of her life, or actually for many years. I don't know anything about this. It was published in 1980, and I think that Williams, that's pretty close to the end of his life. So this is one of his later works. I'm really intrigued and curious, and hang on to this thought about Scott and Zelda because it's relevant to something that's coming up in just a second. But I have to show you the piece de resistance here in this Tennessee Williams section. Let's go back again and remember this hideous cover of A Streetcar Named Desire. And now you tell me who wore it best. I think we know who wore it best. Feast your eyes. Look at this excellent edition. And it has the section in here with pictures from the play. These are not pictures from the movie. These are pictures from the stage edition with Kim Hunter and Jessica Tandy and Marlon Brando from, I don't know, 1950 something or other. 1947 original cast. Oh, is this not fabulous? And so as if that wasn't a bounty of wonder enough that more than any woman could desire. But wait, there's more. So I also talked in that video about my ancient copy of The Great Gatsby, which is held together with librarian repair tape and has my notes and then my daughter's notes. I will never get rid of this copy, but as every hardcore reader knows, you need multiple copies of your favorite books. And my friend has come to the rescue, not once, but twice. So we have the trade-sized paperback of The Great Gatsby. This is the 90th anniversary edition with the original cover art, a lovely author photo. Some high school unwisely got rid of this copy, and it's just in perfect condition. It's portable, it's thin, it can go anywhere, it matches every outfit. So this is a wonderful copy that is not going to fall apart in my hands, which this one is in danger of doing. You are not ready for the next item. I talked in that video about wanting a nice hardcover edition of The Great Gatsby, and I showed a couple of examples, but those examples pale in comparison to what my friend located. Get ready, hang on to your pantalones, and look at this copy of The Great Gatsby. I gasped when I saw this. Look at him. Look at this copy. Look at this photo of F. Scott Fitzgerald. I mean, what? I've never seen this edition, but here it is. Okay, so I am absolutely overjoyed. I just wanted to clear the deck and sit down and read The Great Gatsby right now and just read it with both hands. That was my gift, and I was just blown away. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love it so much. All right, so what could top any of that? Well, there was also a week of really great reading, so let's talk about that as well. First of all, coming back around to our Bronte topic, I read Wide Sargasso Sea by Rhys, which, as I mentioned before, is a prequel of sorts to Jane Eyre. And I'm so excited. I'm going to reread Jane Eyre this October for Victober as a buddy read with my friend Alan from Big Hard Books and Classics. I have read it several times. He has never read it. It's really fun when you read a book with somebody that you really love, but they're reading it for the first time, that there's just a layer to the conversation. It's really fun to watch that person discover what you love about the book. And if it's the other way around and you're the newbie and they're the one who's read it before, that's fun too, because they're kind of giving you little hints like, oh, wait till you see what happens next. It's kind of you laying in wait to see what happens. So anyway, that's about another book. I read White Sargasso Sea, and there's an introduction in here by Edwidge Danticat, the writer, and she says something that I don't agree with in her introduction, that, she talks about her own personal experience of reading this book and reading Jane Eyre, and I enjoyed the introduction. It's a really good one. But the thing I didn't agree with was that she said that this could be a standalone, that this would be a wonderful book to read even if you didn't know anything about Jane Eyre. I just don't really think that would be true for me, at least, because that was very essential to it as I read the book. It's about a certain character that appears in Jane Eyre, that if you read Jane Eyre, you have a lot of questions and unanswered questions about this particular character. And it is that person's backstory. What happened to them in their childhood and early life before they appear in the novel Jane Eyre. And that, for me, that was really essential background. That's why I wanted to read it. That's why when I saw what would happen with this character, and I could think about what happens later and how that would be relevant, and certain things that are very symbolic that appear in both novels. I'm being super cryptic because I don't want to spoil anything for somebody who hasn't actually read Jane Eyre. I would say, if you have read Jane Eyre and you want to know more about the most underexplained and mysterious character in the novel, then read White Sargasso Sea. And it's still not entirely satisfying to me. I felt like this just raised some additional questions. But basically, it is about a person who really doesn't ever have a chance, who just really never gets their own agency, never gets to make any decisions for themselves. And it's just kind of a tragic pathway. That's all I can really tell you about it without being spoilerific. Then also, I finished Barchester Towers, and wow, did I ever love Barchester Towers. So this is the second of 6 books in the Barsetshire Chronicles. Did I get that right this time? No, the Chronicles of Barsetshire. It's book number 2, and it is so good. It is so funny, and the characters are so well developed. It is so, how many times am I going to say so? If I tell you what the plot is about, it sounds so boring. Oh, and I did it again. Extremely boring. But it isn't. It's because it's about the characters. So the plot has to do with who's going to become the bishop and who's going to be in charge of this hospital of retired elderly people that is sort of the subject of the first book. And it's about, different people. It's like a domino thing. Somebody dies, and then who's going to ascend to be the bishop and the dean? And it's all of these different clergy people kind of juggling around, and there's politics. And so that doesn't sound very promising, does it? But it's about these particular characters and just the machinations of people and the things that they say and do, the lies that they tell other people and themselves that get in the way. There's wonderfully developed women characters in this book, and it's just, I can't say too much about it because you got to read the first book first. But this one was just delightful, and it did not feel long at all, even though it was. I was completely wrapped up in the dramas and the battles and the backstabbings and the humor. The whole thing was just absolutely fabulous. So if you're looking for a great Victober experience, Start with The Warden, or read The Warden earlier and then read this in October, and you just can't go wrong. Another book that I finished this week, I read completely off of the schedule. So in the Pineiro Project, we are up to our final book of reading the translated works of Claudia Pineiro. And the last one is A Little Luck, which is really supposed to start, I think, on Sunday or Monday. Like in a couple of days is when it's supposed to start. But I just went ahead and read it. And once I started, I thought I'll just kind of get going a little bit on this. And then I just inhaled this book. So, of course, I can't say very much about it. I have some excuse in every book why I can't get too deep into it. But this time it's because it's for a group read, and we haven't even gotten up to the discussion or the reading yet. People who already read it, who are rereading it, nobody has said any spoilers, but everybody has sort of hinted around about how good it is. And they did not lie. This was so good. I could not stop reading it. It's suspenseful, but it's not a mystery, really. It's suspenseful in the sense that certain things, it's the structure. Okay, I'm not going to tell you anything except this. It's about a woman who is from Argentina, but she's been living in the US for many years, and she goes back. Now, why she goes back, why she was gone so long, why she feels pretty confident that nobody she knew before probably won't recognize her. That's what the plot's about. But the structure is exquisite. Even if I was not in a group, I could not tell you very much because I would not want to deny you the pleasure of the way you were supposed to learn about our main character and the events in her life, the way that Claudia Pineiro wants you to know them, the way she wants you to see the character, the way the character chooses to reveal things to us in the structure of this novel. It is absolutely brilliant. It's emotional and powerful too. I'm stopping there. All right, so now we've come up to what I'm currently reading. Looks like I'm about 3/4 of the way through Secrets of the Octopus. This has become my nonfiction book of the month. It was a completely random selection at the library because I was just drawn in by the cover, and then I looked through it and it had this amazing photography in it, which I found out is because it's a companion book to a National Geographic special. But I was also drawn by the author, Cy Montgomery, who is a nature writer that I really enjoy. Usually, I've read her children's. She writes children and adults, but I've only read the children's books. She writes about a lot of animal life, and so I was just suckered into it from the new non-release, the new nonfiction shelf at the library. But oh my gosh, I mean, look at this. And learning a lot about octopus behavior, octopus intelligence, octopus, just interesting things about their intellect, their emotional capacity. It's really pretty fascinating, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And I'm going to see if I can watch the actual special that it goes with. I don't know if it's on a channel that I have access to, but I'm gonna look into it. I'm also continuing to read this poetry anthology, You Are Here, Poetry in the Natural World, edited by Ada Limon. Still enjoying it, just reading a couple a day, and I think I'm on track that I'll probably finish this before March is over, and then I have a book chosen that I'm going to proceed into after that to continue to read poetry with Poetry Month fast approaching. And then, hang on to your pantalones again, I finally started reading The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. And this has been, oh, it's so big. It's been loitering and lingering. I guess not loitering, because I put it there. It didn't mean to loiter. I loitered it. But it's been lingering on my shelves for a couple of years while I worked my way through my big book trepidation. And this is my mammoth. I finally started. I read a few chapters last night, and I fell in hook, line, and sinker. Nautical puns intended, because it starts with a ship coming back into port and a story of how the captain died during the voyage, and this very young sailor took over, and he's hoping to be named captain of the ship, but there are forces working against him. There are people that don't like him, and they're trying to get in the way of his captain ambitions. They're trying to interfere with his romantic intentions, and so that's where we start. We have the young man, his struggling father, some people that don't like him, and they're plotting to mess him up. So obviously a lot of things are going to happen because it's only about 30 pages in, and all of that is already underway. I love that it has really short chapters. I love that the chapters have titles, and everyone tells me that this book reads a lot faster than it looks. So I'm looking forward to that, and I will be checking back in as my mammoth proceeds. And then finally, later on this weekend, around Sunday-ish, we are going to start Heartburn by Nora Ephron. It's a buddy read with my friend Michael, and we are sort of angling for Sunday, but we'll have to check and see if that date is still working out. And so you get to once again behold the beautiful copy of Heartburn that I bought for myself. And I am not going to read the foreword by Stanley Tucci until after I read the book, even though I pretty much know the plot because I've seen the movie. But I'm really looking forward to the humor that I know is in these pages, and I just feel like I'm in good hands with Nora Ephron. So there it all is. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what you think, what you're going to read this weekend, what you're excited about. I have a couple of tags in mind. I might do an extra one on Sunday again because I've received a lot of tags, and some of them I really want to try to get to sooner rather than later. So I may throw in another video this week. Take care. Have a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.